Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will tell you and explain you how to apply to KAIST. Since most of people who come around my YouTube channel, they think I study in KAIST, so most of the questions are related to KAIST. So I made a decision, not me, my sister forced me to do a video on how to apply to KAIST. And for this video, I asked help from my classmate who studies in KAIST right now. So at the end of this video, I will put his video where he will answer some of your questions that were asked in the comment section, and also he will answer to my questions regarding KAIST application process or how his application went through. So before further ado, let's start our video. I will read admission guide for international students. So I will put some of the screenshots right here so you can screenshot it and then read it, because there are lots of things and I can't read all of them. But I will tell you the basic and the most important things that are needed for this application. This application guide is for spring and fall semester 2020, because my school gave it to us last year when we were applying for universities. I didn't apply for KAIST, but I have it. So the dates are actually kind of the same things, the same information, everything is the same, but just the year is different. So let's start. Let me first tell you about the colleges and the programs that KAIST has. There are 4 colleges: College of Natural Sciences, College of Life Science and Bioengineering, College of Engineering, and College of Business. And all of them have their own departments and divisions, and you can see it in the screenshot and look it up later. When you apply for KAIST, you don't have to choose your major, because when you apply for KAIST, you need to study for 1 year and take all the basic classes, I guess. And then in your second year of studies, then you can choose your major. So you don't need to worry about, oh my god, what major should I choose? Because you will have the entire year to think about what you really like. And KAIST doesn't have transfer system. Okay, application timeline. It has early, regular, and late. When you apply for early track, you can apply for fall or spring semester. But if you apply for regular and late, then you can only apply for fall semester. And the dates are actually the same for every year. I mean, just some few days changes. My laptop is not, why it's not going down? So application process has in total 8 steps. First step, you need to read the admission guidelines, and then you need to get familiar with application process and requirements you need, which I will explain you later in this video. Second step, you need to create your own account on the specific website, and all the links will be provided in the description box, so don't worry, everything will be in the description box, everything, okay? When you make your account when you will make it. Step 5, in your document submission page, you need to upload scanned copies of all additional required materials, and uploaded copies should be first certified by school principal of head director of organization and clear and legible. But if you have some difficulties in uploading, I think you can just airmail your documents. And the address is right here in the screenshot, and it will be you need to apply for early track, okay? But if you want to apply for fall, you can apply for early, regular, or late tracks, okay? And if you want to apply for spring, you need to graduate your high school by February. But if you want to apply for fall semester, you need to graduate your school by August. In order for you to apply for KAIST, and it's completely the same for my school too, you should be an international student. And there everything is written, like how many international students from what countries, how many Koreans, and so on, and GPA rating too, okay? Next, you need to submit your high school or university transcript. You are required to submit official transcripts from every high school and university you attended, and your transcripts should include year-by-year records of all classes from last 3 years of high school, okay? Next, we have official English proficiency test, EPT score report. It's really recommended that applicants achieve above TOEFL IBT 83, IELTS 6.5, or TOEIC listening and reading 720. The others you can see, I don't know what are the others, PBT, CBT, OLD. I don't know what they mean, but if you know, you can just screenshot. And when you take these tests, it's recommended that you send them from official website. For example, if you took TOEFL, just put the address of KAIST so that they can send directly to KAIST your results, okay? And also EPT exemption. If you don't want to submit those documents, I guess if you don't want to, or if you don't have them, first, applicants who are nationals of majority English speaking countries. So basically, if you don't want to submit those, it means you need to be from the country where you speak in English. And second, you need to graduate from school where you studied everything in English and all your books were in English. I swear to holy God, what the fuck is wrong with my... What the hell is this? My computer is going crazy. Next one, standardized official test score report. You need to submit at least one of the official test score reports such as ACT1, ACT2, AP, IB, GCE, A-level, I don't know what is that, but whatever, ACT, high school living exam and university entrance exam results, and certificate of international Olympiad, if you have those. So it's really important when you send your SAT results or any this type of results, make sure that you submit them directly from the College Board. KAIST strongly recommends the applicants to take SAT2 subject test for Math Level 2, Physics and Chemistry or Biology. Since it's science university, you need to have really good results for science subjects. Predicted score only for IB and GCE A-level test applicants. Just read them if you know what is it. I don't know what is it. You can also submit your certificate of international Olympiad if you had any. And high school living exam or university entrance exam if you have them. And if you have them, please describe the exam within one A4 page. Basically, you need to write a small essay about the exam. How was it? What was the rating, the competition rate, and so on, okay? Next, you need to submit a copy of your international passport or national ID card. Next, statement of financial resources. When you complete your application form, you can choose KAIST scholarship or sponsorship form. The difference between scholarship or sponsorship is that if you apply for scholarship, it means that you are not financially sponsored by government or organization. But if you select sponsorship, it means that you are financially sponsored by government or organization. When you select KAIST scholarship, please upload documents you deem necessary in reflecting your financial status. So anything that proves that you really need the scholarship or you have financial problems, send all the documents. And please make sure that all your documents are in English. And KAIST scholarship offers you full scholarship, tuition fee, and approximately $300 of monthly allowances and national health insurance to every admitted international student. And to maintain this scholarship, you have to receive good grades at KAIST. And this is the rule for applicants of Korean origin. So if you're Korean but international Korean, you studied abroad, I will put the screenshot so you will read it yourself, because there are lots of things that I don't understand. And then optional, honors and awards. You may submit up to 5 honors or awards obtained during your high school years. The list will be valid only when testimonials or evidence are submitted. But what I recommend you is send anything you have, because it will be beneficial for your application. Those are the most important documents that you need. But if you graduated or going to graduate Korean high school in Korea but you're international, the requirement documents and the eligibility is literally the same. Also, KAIST mentioned that all the international schools in Korea, they are not considered as an international school. The application fee is $80. You can pay by credit card or domestic transfer or by international bank transfer. And here's the bank transfer information. The screenshot. I think that's all. And this is the selection process. Basically, KAIST looks at your documents. The most important things are your documents and your essay if your documents are not that good. So basically, the most important are your science subjects and your achievements. Next, here are some important notes. You can read it yourself. That's all for the basic and the most important documents that you need. Okay, now I will put my classmates video and he will tell you some of the things that I didn't tell you, and he will answer to some of your questions. And his name is Bryan. So let's move on to his video.
Hello, my name is Bryan, one of Munisa's friends who just got into KAIST in this spring semester of 2020, and I'm gonna be helping her for the video about KAIST. So I come from Indonesia, and my Instagram is Bryan, BRAMWEON. So if you have further questions after this video, you can just freely talk to me via DM. And I'm still a freshman since I just got admitted this semester. So Munisa gave me some questions about KAIST, and I would like to help her find out about those questions. Since I'm still an undergraduate student, so I have no experience or whatsoever about the application of graduate school, I'm gonna focus this video only for the undergraduate application. Well, I was kind of worried myself, but then if I actually come to think about it again, it was not really a big problem. It was just me worrying over like small things, so you guys don't have to worry about anything. For me, the most difficult part was writing essays because I'm not good at those. So the questions might change from years to years, and I'm not sure whether I can actually like share the actual questions to you. But more or less, the question asks about your dreams, and then your efforts, your future plan to achieve your dreams, and like how can KAIST help you guys with that. And then they might also ask you about your activities, and like why do you think it's important for you. And then they also ask you about your family background, social background that you might want KAIST to know. Ask you about like your experience, like when you actually think differently from others, about your conflict management or sharing experience, something like that. I guess you can just write the essay and ask for your school counselor to help you if you have any like difficulties in writing, because counselors know best, of course. And I think when you're actually writing your essay, it's really important. It will be really helpful if you stress on the 3 key values of KAIST, which is caring, creativity, challenge. So if you can focus your essay on those 3 values, it will be really good, because that's really meaningful for KAIST. I submitted SAT subject test for Maths Level 2, Physics and Chemistry, also TOEFL IBT score. So for SAT, ACT, and like AP or IB, you have to send it directly from the institution. You cannot email them, you cannot send them online by yourself. You have to send them directly from the institution. For TOEFL, it is highly recommended if you send them directly from the ETS. In my case, I send them directly from the ETS and submit it through the online system. Yeah, I think you should do that. That's like the best option to prevent any problem. So you can check whether at the college board already send your exam scores to KAIST by going to the website, and then you can check whether KAIST already accepted your scores from the institution or not. But then for TOEFL, you cannot really check whether ETS already sent your score or not. So if you want to really double check whether KAIST already accepted your score, you might want to email KAIST personally. In my case, I didn't have any interview because only selected people have the interview, but then I got some information from my roommate. It's also got accepted in the same semester with me. Based on what he said, the interview was all maths. There were like 5 questions with sub-questions. The questions were mostly about probability, statistics, and calculus, but then he thinks that maybe there are also some other questions. They were all calculation problems in his case. For those 5 questions, he was given 15 minutes. He took A level, but then it was quite difficult for him, he said, and he couldn't finish all the questions. If you couldn't finish that question in 3 minutes, interviewer will ask you to stop, and instead of asking you the exact answer, he will ask you like, how would you solve the problem without actually solving the problem. So you have to know the steps of like what to do and stuff. The questions will be given to you by the screen, so they will not like give it verbally, they will like write it in the screen so you can see the question easily. And even if you can actually answer the questions, you also have to explain like how you obtain the answers. About this interview, my roommate told me like he thinks that it's given to people randomly. Even those people who won like the international Olympiad, some of them also got interviews. So yeah, it's quite random, so just be ready for it. If you didn't get called for interview, then it's your luck, like me. Just be polite to the interviewer and I think it will be okay. Even if you ask to the KAIST admission office, you cannot know whether GPA is the key factor or like what other factors really matter, but I personally think that GPA is really important for KAIST. In case if your GPA is low, then you can just try your best, write a good essay and like show them like the achievements that you have and show your passion in science, so they can actually think about your application, right? Because they don't really tell us about like the importance of GPA or essay or test or any other else. If you have AP or ACT or like lots of tests, just send them if the score is really good. Send them as much as you can so they can like see your performance in science and other. The application process is pretty much the same, but then starting from this 2020 spring, the only difference is that students in KSA do not have to submit the standardized examination like SAT, AP, IB, or A-level, but we still have to submit the other documents, so that's the only difference, and there's nothing much different actually. So basic scholarship, if you apply directly through KAIST, there is the KAIST scholarship that will give you full tuition fee and 350,000 won per month, which is around $350 US. So you can also apply for working scholarship. So if you work in like some institutions inside KAIST, you can get additional scholarship, or there's also KAI Plus scholarship from the wives of the professors in KAIST. You can also apply for that. And there are still lots of other opportunities, so don't worry about scholarship. Apply as much as you can. So if, for example, you failed in the early application, you can retry in the regular application or late application, it doesn't matter. So just do your best, because we don't really know like the details about the application process. So just do your best for each application. Actually, once I come to KAIST, I come to see that it's more English friendly. So like almost everything is translated into English, so people don't actually have difficulties in communication. Yeah, there's no discrimination or so. I know like some international students that don't actually speak Korean at all and they can still survive in KAIST with no problem, because like all the courses are in English and most of the stuffs are translated in English, so you won't have any problem even if you don't know Korean. And you can also make Korean friends easily here. I personally love Korean food, so I have no problem with those, but Korean food usually have pork, so Muslims might have problem with that, but you can always like choose to eat the non-pork menu. It won't be a big deal. Maybe at first Korean food tastes bland, but then after some time you will come to love it. Actually, when I go back to Indonesia, I always miss Korean food. In my case, I feel like Koreans are really welcome to international people, and you will find it interesting if you like make friends with them, because they're really helpful and they're really nice people. So all the science classes in KAIST are offered in English. But then for humanities course, there are some courses that are only offered in Korean, especially those courses like the second language like German, French, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese or so, and like those classes related to Korean history and politics, it will be only taught in Korean. But then other than that, everything is pretty much in English. Oh, also sports classes are usually in Korean and leadership classes are mostly in Korean. But then other than that, like for science subjects, you don't have to worry because usually it's in English. In the north of KAIST, there is a restaurant named Purbit Maru. They have halal food there, so you can eat halal food there, and it's actually pretty good. In the cafeteria itself, I'm not sure if there is halal food, but you can always choose a menu without pork. You can just ask them whether it has pork, or you can ask them to remove or something like that. I don't think finding halal food will be a big problem here. As I said, everything is translated into English, all classes are in English, so I don't think you have to know Korean language. But if you know Korean language, it will be a big help. For example, if you want to communicate with a dorm teacher, or when you go outside KAIST to like order food and stuff, it will be really helpful. But for the academic itself, you don't have to worry about Korean language because it's not going to be a big problem. So if you actually get Korean scholarship, you don't have to pay tuition fee. It will be covered in the scholarship, but then you have to pay for the dormitory and Shia insurance every semester. I'm not sure since I'm still a freshman, but from what I heard, like gap year, you can always take them if you have like actual problem or actual issues that you really have to solve. For example, like if you have any medical issues or any accidents, or if you want to open like a new small business or things like that. But then you have to give the proper documents needed, like there are some required documents. You can have at most like 4 semesters, but I'm not sure. But you know, it's always best if you just don't take gap year and like finish your semester on time. I don't recommend you to do gap years. So the cost of dormitory varies depending on what kind of dormitory you're staying in. In case of me, I'm staying in the undergraduate dormitory, which is for 2 to 3 people in one room, it cost me 101,000 won a month, and you have to pay at the very beginning of the semester. So in the beginning of the semester, you have to pay 404,000 won for 4 months. It's a difficult question. So in Korea, I think like SNU is known as the best university, but then in case if you want to see based on the research, so like for research-oriented university, especially those university that focuses only on science and technology, then KAIST is the best. But then like overall, SNU is said to be the best because, you know, like they have like different departments, not only science and technology. But then in case of KAIST, we focus only in science and technology, so we're doing good in that one. In case of SNU is like the overall best. Then KAIST is like the best for science-based university, research-based university. So there's international kitchen in KAIST. You can pay to use that kitchen for 1 semester, if I'm not wrong. In my case, it was enough. If you think it is not enough, you can always apply for the working scholarship, or you can work part-time after you get the permission. But as long as you don't waste too much money, it will be enough. Maybe like in the beginning, when you first come to KAIST, you might need to bring some amount of money because you have to pay for the dormitory in advance, right? 404,000 won for the dormitory, and then maybe you have to buy lots of things for settlement. But then after that, pretty much you don't need that much money. Actually, I'm gonna work part-time job, and yeah, they allow us as long as you get the proper permission from the government. So if you want to work part-time job, you have to prepare the necessary documents, which you will know when you come here. They will let you know what documents you need. And I don't really advise you to contact them through these numbers because they might be busy. So I think it will be better if you just email to them. Yeah, just email them because they will answer maybe like after 1 or 2 days usually. Did you study at language course? No. So I have TOPIK level 5 and TOEFL IBT score, and I submitted them. The TOPIK I submitted through the awards and certificates. I don't really want to reveal my score, but yeah, I think that might help your application, maybe. I'm not sure about this. Maybe you can ask through the email or whether you can actually do this, but from what I know, you cannot really do it. Because in KAIST, for the first year, you have to take some mandatory courses in KAIST, and you have to take all of those, which is pretty difficult for me, myself. I don't think you can just apply as a junior. You have to take the freshman year. Because from what my seniors told me, like the freshman year is like the most difficult because you have to take many basic courses. And I think it's really important for your KAIST life because it will help you in the future courses. But you can always ask the admission team. Like if you have any problem, any question, you can ask me through my Instagram. Or ask Munisa, or the best one is just to ask directly through email to the admissions team. They will like help you a lot. I asked them a lot, and I think I annoyed them a lot, but then they still answer my questions. They're really nice. Well, at least you have to be able to understand English well and qualify like the minimum score of the English proficiency test so you can get in. Well, I searched about this. Like with the GPA, I think, the GPA is actually really good. You can definitely get in, I think. But still, the professor sponsorship letter is still mandatory. Like also for undergraduate, no matter how good you do in high school, you still have to submit your teacher's sponsorship letter, like recommendation letter. And from what I read in the application guideline for graduate students, I think like 2 recommendation letters is mandatory. So I think you still need to submit those letters. That's all the questions that I got. If you have more questions, feel free to let me know through Instagram. If you want to see more information for the international undergraduate, you can visit admission, and then there is the guideline for the current or upcoming application. And then for the graduate school, you can visit the website admission. There they also have the guideline of the application there. So I hope it helps. Bye bye.
That's all for this video. Hopefully you got everything you needed, but if you still have some questions left behind and maybe you didn't get what I said, just go back, rewatch, and take a screenshot of most important things that you need to know, and especially your documents. Just take a screenshot of those documents that are needed, okay? And if you have any questions, don't be shy. You can text Bryan about KAIST, or you can leave your questions in the comment section if you don't have Instagram. So I will let him know and he can answer to your questions, because I don't study in KAIST and I don't want to study in KAIST because science, I loved you before but not now. So yeah, thank you for watching this video and good luck in your application, and let's thank Bryan too for helping us to help you. And that's all for this video. Please don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on your bell notification so you won't miss my new videos. Also, don't forget to put thumbs up so I will know that this video was informative. I mean, way too informative in details. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye, see you in the next video.